What's going on, everybody? My name is ManLee92, and I am bringing you yet another gameplay commentary on Call of Duty Black Ops, this time some team deathmatch on Crisis. Not a big fan of Crisis, gonna get that right out of the way, but I just want to start out by saying my classes. I think I'm using the Scorpion Warlord. That's the main feature of this gameplay. It has a silencer and extended mags, because extended mags is a must, and I actually do like it with a silencer because it takes 1 trillion bullets to kill somebody anyway, so what's one more with the silencer? I'm also using the Nova Gas. You'll see that come into play. So basically, with people running around with a second chance, no one's going to be using tac masks, so just throw on your Nova Gas and spam the shit out of it.
We've taken the lead.
Also, the kill streaks I'm using is my standard kill streak loadout. Basically, it's non-lethal except for my attack chopper, but I'm using the counter spy plane, the Blackbird, and the attack chopper. So it's 3-7-8, so it's pretty good kill streak. Basically, you always get the counter UAV up pretty easily, and you just work your way towards the higher ones. But that's not what I'm here to talk about this gameplay. I'm here to talk about Modern Warfare 3. So there was a lot of news out of CODXP. I obviously didn't go because I'm not that important, but what people are all up in arms about is the Assassin Perk. Basically, it's this year's model of the stealth one, which is like Ghost was. But people are also complaining because it's looking like it's going to be pretty overpowered, like Ghost currently is. But basically, what I wanted to think about was to put it in perspective, to take the perk. I'm not even going to give you my opinion until I'm done talking about it, but basically you got to look back at the history of UAV and stealth perks. We're going to start at COD 4 just because that was the farthest back one that I've played. You get UAV Jammer, which is, well, you get UAV at 3 kills no matter what. Everyone has the same kill streak loadout. If you didn't play COD 4, which I really doubt that you never actually did play it, but I'm going to just explain it anyway for my sanity. But so basically, yeah, you had the UAV Jammer and a 3 kill streak for the UAV, so it made sense. You know, you have a UAV, you have something to counter it. So yeah, so that wasn't too overpowered. You know, people didn't really like it, but you had stopping power in that tier, so also there was an incentive not to use it because stopping power is such a dominant perk. But then in World at War, we had Camouflage, which did the same thing, but again, it was in the same tier as stopping power. So you had something, a powerful perk that you really didn't want to give up. So, and then we get into Modern Warfare 2, which had Cold-Blooded, but they also upgraded the kill streaks, if you think about that. So more powerful kill streaks equals more powerful stealth perks. So basically, Cold-Blooded was the same. It hid you from the UAV, and then it also added no crosshair when targeted if you got the pro, and hid you from above, like shooting down kill streaks. Like that sounded terrible. It hid you from powerful kill streaks like the AC-130 and Chopper Gunner and things like that. So, which, if you think about it, yeah, on paper, that's a good idea because that perk has always been about hiding you from something above that detects you, right? So yeah, on paper, that makes sense. But in practicality, it's probably overpowered if it wasn't for the instance of stopping power, again, in Modern Warfare 2. So it really, to balance out, you could either be invisible or be more powerful and actually kill people. So it was a huge trade-off. And then we get into Black Ops. Now they have Ghost in the Tier 1, which the stealth perk has always been in Tier 2. But this one we have the stealth perk in Tier 1. Ghost does everything that Cold-Blooded did. It doesn't really do anything different, right? Not that I can think of off the top of my head. But there was also a revamping of the kill streaks too. They're a little bit lower, right? Kind of easier to get just because of the way the game is played. But also the stealth perk in this one was basically like, I'm trying to think about what I was going to say, but it's not coming to mind. But yes, Ghost is very overpowered, basically because it was in a tier with not much else to combat it. There's Scavenger, but people can get around that. You can pick up another gun. It's not really a huge issue. Flak Jacket, if you're playing Team Deathmatch, there's really no point in using Flak Jacket, unless you don't like noob tubes. And then, I'm trying to think of other tier 1 perks. Lightweight, just, yeah, alright, you move faster. Not a big deal. And then, can't remember the last one. Or was that all of them? I don't know, it doesn't matter. Ghost was obviously the most powerful perk and the most widely used perk in that tier. And I think that was the reason why people are complaining about it being overpowered. And then we move into Assassin, which is the Modern Warfare 3 version of the stealth perk. Basically, I can't remember everything off the top of my head, but it does everything Ghost does. It also, it does some, like, everything Hacker in this game, in Black Ops does, too. So, it does a lot of things. Basically, my biggest problem with Assassin, and again, I've never played the game, but the sounds of it sounds like it should be broken down into 3, maybe 4 perks. Like, it shouldn't be 1 perk just because of that, even if it does, like, regardless of what happens in the gameplay or practice, it just seems like it does too much for 1 perk. But then again, I haven't really looked into all of the other perks in detail to compare it with that, but, so it's kind of difficult to tell how it'll play out. But, I also don't know the other perks in that tier, if there's something that's going to be a higher incentive. I know Overkill's in that tier, so that'll be a pretty good thing to use. But again, also what I said earlier, more powerful kill streaks equals more powerful stealth until it affects the gun-on-gun gameplay. Now, in Team Deathmatch, we have people sitting in the corners with Ghost lying prone and not really running around or playing the game the way it's supposed to be played or the way it was designed to be played, right? So, it is affecting gun-on-gun gameplay, and with a perk that was invented to avoid kill streaks. So, now is where you're running into the problem with that. But
they destroyed your equipment.
So that's basically my biggest beef with it, and I think it probably will be overpowered. And as it stands right now, I don't really see any reason not to use Assassin. Like Ghost, yeah, it doesn't really fit into my gameplay style, but the perk 2, there's not really anything I would use that fits into my gameplay style. So it's just like, all right, the perk 2 kind of switches up for me. Maybe sleight of hand, but the way it's looking right now, Modern Warfare 3, Assassin's going to be my go-to tier 2 perk. Go-to tier 2 perk. But yeah, another thing you got to look at is the perspective of how things are. There are people that are very good that play this game, and there are people that are very bad that play this game. So let's look at it as the perspective of a very good player using this perk. If properly used by someone who actually knows the flow of the map and all of this, like, actually plays decently, it can be used as kind of a troll kill streak, just because you don't really need that perk to do well. So, also, depending on how powerful the perk is, no perk should make somebody automatically have a good game. So if you're bad at this game and they just slap on Ghost, for some reason people do good. And, so I don't really understand why that is, but also think about it this way: if a good player is having a bad game and they throw on Ghost, then it could help that way. So the stealth perk helps if you're having a bad game and nothing's really helping you, but also a bad player having a bad game, right? Let's look at also in the terms of kill streaks. If somebody's just spamming, let's say like AC-130s from Modern Warfare 3, or Osprey gunships. I know that was a kill streak, and I'm really looking forward to that because I like the Osprey. But so, if somebody's just or even like spamming chopper gunners or gunships, you're gonna want to hide from that, regardless of what caliber player you are. So it makes sense to have a perk that hides from above kill streaks, but then you bring launchers into the situation, and I don't think that. If you think about it, okay, if somebody has a launcher and it doesn't really require skill, point shoot, right? It targets for you. A good player is going to get annoyed because every single time their gunship is going to get shot down. A bad player, let's say he has a good game, and alright, yeah, he gets a gunship. Woo, he's going to be ecstatic, right? Because he doesn't get it all the time. And then it gets shot down in 2 seconds. Yeah, that, I can see where people are coming from. It's going to suck if you work that hard, actually get an 11 kill streak that you don't usually get. And when somebody breaks your balls and shoots it down. So you gotta look at it in different perspectives like that, and then you gotta also take into consideration that 90% of people playing this game are either new to the game or suck and don't know the flow of traffic and all the other things that people who actually have decent at the game know or get to know. So there's a lot of things you got to take into consideration when designing perks, and also no matter what you say now to the developers, no matter what you tweet, no matter how angrily you tweet it, it's not going to get changed because the game's pretty much finished. If they show it to you, it's pretty much done. I don't know what the hell happened with that knife there. So yeah, that's basically on my rants. I think I mentioned death streaks in the beginning, but I really wanted to talk about Assassin. I have another beef with death streaks, but that's a whole other thing altogether. So I'll probably save that for another video. But
enemy spy plane above.
yeah, so that's basically all I wanted to talk about. There's always going to be a stealth perk, and it is needed in some aspects, but I think it's lost its way, where the programmers have not really taken into consideration how it goes down on the streets. So I think with a little bit of putting into perspective the stealth perk and exactly how much it's going to affect the game, we'll do that. But my question for you guys is, if you could make the most overpowered perk out of new aspects of the game, so like you're completely, I went 27 and 10 by the way, with the Silent Scorpion, but if you could create a new perk that was completely overpowered and didn't have any aspects that COD has ever, like a perk in Call of Duty has had to this date, what would it be? What would your overpowered perk be? Because right now I'm thinking mine would be Assassin. That's my overpowered perk. I'm not even going to create one. It's already made for me. So write that down in your comment. The most overpowered perk would be something like, oh, my gun fires homing missiles from the air or something like that, right? You just point and shoot. It's just the laser you carry. But yeah, so that really helped me. Leave me your funny and overpowered perks. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.